Mastering the powers of the internet and how to work exclusive real estate information is very exciting, because this is a culmination of working on the internet for literally over 20 years. And we're going to give you some of the most exciting new advances of information technology built to serve actually all real estate boards and associations in the world. But it's an information service that's been under development for many, many, many years, working, just making a living out of it, but now refined so much so that it's ready to have large organizations offer it to all of their members. And we hope to sort of demonstrate that this is for licensed real estate brokers and salespeople worldwide, and organizations, companies can all adopt this service, and we'll work with you on how to get it working. And the reason why you want to do that is because it's exciting. MLS itself started in the late 1800s, 1890, in that area, and it's literally 120 years progressing to today's beautiful, wonderful services that MLS provides. And now with the advent of information technology, there's never been a service that really helps to work what I call exclusive information in an industry-wide fashion, where literally the same sort of similar membership rules to real estate boards have, and we have the same similar membership rules in the sense that only licensed real estate brokers and salespeople can actually join ICIWorld. And so it's really the brokers of the world that support real estate boards, and it's the real estate brokers of the world that supports ICIWorld, which it's our goal someday, I think, to have real estate boards operate this service on behalf of their members. And how to get to that level, it's going to take some people maybe smarter than we are to figure out how the leadership of all these organizations can be using this type of service, because we're ready to sort of deliver it to them on a silver platter somehow, and to help every single member make money with information. And we have people here selling $50 million properties and $10 million properties and shopping centers, all kinds of commercial real estate. Now with the advent of the internet, residential real estate in a big way is now being represented, with 50% of the residential listings on this service are literally exclusive, not on real estate boards. And so there's a way to work information compatible with the industry. Properties coming for sale can be put on here, and then once you get them listed, you tell the people that I'll put it here, and if somebody's interested in it, once we get the listing signed, we'll call you back and make an appointment for you to see it. So you can be advertising things in anticipation of even getting listings, and that's things that you can do with information services. All the FSBOs in the world, all that information, with 3 special questions that I'm going to be teaching today, you can be working it as well, that kind of information on here, and it can trigger leads. So if you have 15, in fact, every single salesperson in the world can and should have a minimum of 15 opportunities working for them on the internet, and that becomes your inventory on the internet, every bit as powerful of triggering a lead as a real estate board listing can trigger leads for you. You can work it with information without having a signed listing, but you have to respect your licensing requirements to not divulge the address. We're going to be talking about how you can control that opportunity in a proper fashion by never giving out an address and only putting an agreement in place first before you show it, and then that way you cover yourself. And let's get on with it. And the best way to start doing that is to actually show you how you can be searching right now today everybody that works what we call haves and wants. Haves are the properties for sale and for lease opportunities in the marketplace. They could be a signed MLS type listing, but it could also be an open piece of information, exclusive, where somebody says, I don't want to give you a listing, but I will pay you a commission. You can work that kind of information here in a special way. Please wait until you learn how to do it entirely and before doing it, or you can get yourself in trouble. But if you have an Android or an iPhone, you can go to the App Store or the Play Store, and you can search the words ICIWorld, install it onto your mobile device. And then if you have any other device in the world other than an iPhone or an Android, you can also put the ICIWorld.mobi, which you simply open up a browser and type in ICIWorld.mobi, and you'll find it's very sophisticated, and it takes little time for you to learn just how sophisticated it is. If you want to find a gas station in southwestern Ontario, you can do it. And if you want to sort all the shopping centers by price, you can do it. If you want to search assignments for residential real estate, you can do it. If you want to find a cottage with a beach, you can do it. Those are things that you can find with ICIWorld using keyword searching, and you can actually get into it within 3 seconds searching once you have it installed on your phone. Now, in the case of the mobile version, when you want to add it to your home screen, you simply open up a browser and you type in ICIWorld.mobi. So you can open Safari or open Google Chrome, type in ICIWorld.mobi. Now, as I'm speaking, if you you're going to be listening to this in a recording later, make sure you know how to turn the sound up or down on your computer. So if I'm speaking very loud, you can tone it right down, or if you need it higher, you can make the sound louder. Learn how to do that on your computer. And the second thing you want to do is learn how to pause the video, and if you have to go back a little bit, learn how to go back, move the mouse backward on the little line that you will see, but you need to learn how to pause the video, how to move it backwards, and you can even move it forwards. Like, there's ways to do that. Learn how to do that so you can control the replay of this at a later time. And these videos are providing tremendous training to the industry, where we can't sometimes get all the people in the world together at one time, but we can easily make it available on our YouTube video channel and on our various other channels for GoToMeeting software, and make this stuff available to you afterwards. There's a lot of money to be made in real estate, and learning some of these techniques is really going to be helpful. Okay, so let's move on. So it's literally, when you have all of this installed on your device, you can literally take it 3 seconds to see the latest listings, and maybe a little 7 seconds longer to choose your country, and then your region, and then your state or province, and then a city where it might be appropriate. And you can do that for both commercial and residential. Okay, adding, modifying, deleting listings. These are basically the things that you do on ICIWorld. You go to ICIWorld, you can click on member login, and then all the choices on the left, and you just simply click on my listings, and then you can literally reach the world with one click. And we recommend that you modify your listings every 30 to 60 days, and that way they get delivered out to the industry, literally 20,000 emails a day. And you should never let your listings go longer than 90 days old. And yes, we do have listings for 5 years. We don't delete them for 5 years. It's up to you. Every single person from the public and also all the real estate industry to choose how far back you wish to search. The default for all the mobile sites is 90 days. So this is an important message for members, that if you have listings that are over 90 days old, they're not getting shown. You do not have the highest traffic unless your listings are less than 90 days old. So this is a message for the industry worldwide, United States and Canada. You got to keep your messages less than 90 days old by simply going to ICIWorld, member login, my listings, and just modify your listings one at a time, which takes about 2 seconds each. You should do that once every 30 to 60 days. And if you can't do that, then really you're not taking responsibility for your information on the internet that people are seeing. And if they go longer than 90 days old, then a lot of people don't like to work with those. Now, the reason we keep them longer is because a lot of people are making excellent connections, particularly in commercial real estate, because shopping centers are still there 6 months later, 1 and 2 years later. The shopping centers are still there. The people are still around, and the people are available for networking. So when you call somebody that has something older, that person, you can probably network with that person and find out about other properties in the area. And you can actually, most of our people can actually talk about other things not even on the service, and start to learn that, oh boy, I might have something for you, or you might have something for me, and we can go off and do a deal. And so the older listings identify people with whom you can do some networking. So this is really a networking service where the listings identify people with whom you can do some networking. I know a lot of people in residential real estate, if it's just plain not available, they don't take the next step to say, well, listen, if you ever get something, maybe you can remember me and call me back. And that happens. 2 weeks later, somebody might get something that matches the description of what you're looking for, and because you established a good business relationship with you, they call you back, and next thing you know, you're doing a deal. And it all started from calling on an older listing. So that's the reason for the older ones, but the default setting is 90 days. Alrighty, let's move on, and I'm just going to say we've got through here. Okay, executive member training and support. We're doing a lot of talking here right now, and some of it's going to go over some people's heads, but we have a special program where you can connect your computer with ours and vice versa using GoToMeeting software, and we recommend that you simply make an appointment, and how you make that appointment is you simply go to our main website, which I'm going to do, and you'll see right up at the top it says make an appointment. And when you make an appointment, I'm just going to click on it, you can make it from any place in the world. So no matter where you are in the world, you can click on the 60 minutes and you can click on make an appointment, and there's the times that we have available. And you'll notice this is Canada, US times, and you can actually select your time and change your time zone no matter where you are in the world and select the time, and we have it from literally around the world. We do appointments from Southeast Asia to any place in North America to just all over the world in Europe. You can just call in and we can talk through the computer, and then you can make your own time, set your time, and then 10 minutes before your time, you come here and simply click on this webinars workshop at the top, and it will open up a screen and your computer will be connected with us. And usually most of our members only need a one-time orientation of 60 minutes. If you're getting a website, that's another 1 hour. And then sometimes you'll have a question after the 1 hour, in which case you simply make an appointment and we can help you. And most of our members, we find, really only need one session of getting started. That's it. And you're up and running. So within 60 minutes, you're networking worldwide and making connections worldwide. It's absolutely wonderful. We do send out emails of instructions, and we also have special training for members. I'm going to click on that right now and go down here, and you'll see that there's a training and support for executive members right here, which has a number of different videos. We also have these monthly programs that we're running right now, which is this one. Register for the monthly webinar, and also how to promote your website. You should register for that. In addition to that, we have an educational YouTube channel. I'm going over the resources early, so everybody, after you're done, if you want to check things, you can go to do this. And when you click on the educational resources, you'll see that we have videos coming up. Every single video since the beginning of time that we started to do these things are still available right to this day. In other words, they're still applicable right to this day. And then all you have to do is click on one of these, and then you can listen on to it and be learning from the different things happening for ICIWorld, for this worldwide information service that has been working successfully for over 20 years for the people that are using it. But we're finding today that people are simply overwhelmed with information. People are suffering from information overload. And I know our challenge as a service that's growing, it works for the world. It's up to people to discover it and to take advantage of it, and there's so many things that will put you off along the way until people sometimes 1 and 2 years later they kick themselves and say, Gary, I should have been on this thing a long time ago, making connections to do business. And it's just great. And you find that out by reading the testimonials that are on ICIWorld, and you've got to read through them. If you don't read through them, it's unbelievable. It's wonderful. It's actually, now that I see it happening ever since we've been running this service, people doing deals, it's just normal for us to hear people making connections and doing deals. Now, the training and support, I've just gone over these particular things here, and you register for these monthly webinars and just make an appointment with us, whether you want a demonstration, whether you would like a webinar for your whole office where you can shoot this up on the screen and we can go through this with you. And then people can ask questions. You put a hands-free available, put it on your boardroom table, and we can actually go through this with you as well. So I've been working on this. Let's just kind of really get into it right away, that ICIWorld is a society of real estate brokers and salespeople, networking and advertising exclusive real estate information, marketing listings on mobile devices and computers, and doing it literally daily with people from 138 countries of the world. If we analyze the statistics, our unique IP addresses are in the area of 35 to 40,000 per month, which doesn't guarantee that each one is a person behind that IP or computer, but it's as close as we can get to a rough idea of visiting. That does not count all of the other things that we're doing, which is the 20,000 emails going out per day for listings that are brokers are putting on daily, and it does not count the 1,500 plus other brokers' websites, that information you can choose when you place a listing to have your listing displayed on 1,500 other brokers' websites, who in many cases are going to do a referral back to you. So if another website, somebody spends money on their website and they promote it and spend money with Google advertising and everything else, and they trigger a lead for one of your listings that are appearing on their website, that other broker will call you and say, I have a lead for you. Is a 25% referral fee okay with you? This is the power of a network, people, a power of individual salespeople using the power of a network of people throughout the world to trigger leads for you in many, many different ways. And you can also have this information on your website as well that can trigger a lead for somebody in another community, whether it's in Florida or the worldwide or another part of your province or state. All of these things can happen for you when you have this working. So it's going to take a long time, and it challenged the growth rate that we're growing at. It's growing slowly, and we just instituted a new program called a sponsorship program, which will give everyone a little break on their yearly fees from $319 per year. If you recommend one person to join, it can be reduced to $240, and if you recommend anybody else, we give a 3-month bonus. So theoretically, if you recommended 4 people times 3 months bonus, that's a year free just by recommending it to other people. And we're going to see if that can help stimulate a faster growth. The challenge is the growth, and that could be up to powers bigger than ourselves. Our service is available for other companies to kind of take it up higher, license it for province, states, or states, and also making it available for real estate boards worldwide to use if you want an individual service to help all your people network as well. Or we can just simply provide a corporate membership for people to use, and we can make a special button for your website that shows only members of your own company or association and displays only their listings. We make that special for haves and wants as well, and they can have a choice whether they want to advertise it on the World Service or just on your own association website and put a link on your front page of your company website. So if you have a national company, you can have a page of just your office listings. There's ways to kind of do that. 40% of the world population today has an internet connection. There's 3.5 billion people, while 3.7 billion people now using the internet, literally 88% in Canada and the United States. And the real true test now is the mobilization, or the most exciting thing happening is the mobilization of the industry. So not only do we have the mobile websites, which are providing information literally within 3 seconds on your phone as you can test, but you should also have a mobile website yourself. And we're going to be showing you the powers of the websites that we create for people. And you know, websites are like billboards. You can have more than one, and for $16.50, it's like advertising when you think about it. You can have another website that's works like a billboard on the internet, triggering leads for you. It's a one-time setup for an hour to kind of do that too as well. So membership is open for all licensed real estate salespeople and brokers in the world. I'm not going to go through these apps today. Today I go into some of these apps on a more intensive basis when we have more time. But today, this is a shorter application of what it is that we're doing. But I want to list them here so that you can pause this screen if you're listening to this on a recording right now at a later date, whether it's 6 months or 2 years from now. These are some of the most important apps that we think, and most used apps by people in the world in today's day and age. And I'm just leaving them there that you can follow up on them later. Briefly though, Evernote is that every single thought or thing that you can think of, and anybody that has trouble remembering things, you can use this Evernote.com, one of the most used apps in the world for writing down notes and all kinds of taking pictures. And you see an article that you're reading with your phone, boom, you can save it to your Evernote, and then you can search them later with keywords and with all kinds of different things to find information very, very, very quickly. The KeyPass is the one that I use for remembering approximately 200 passwords, and then you've always got them, and you invoke it, and when you invoke it, it actually can type your passwords right into the box wherever you are, so it'll keep track of that. And it's on every device. That's what I like about it. I can access it on any device that I have. If I have a problem on one device, and not just a computer, but you know, on your tablets and your mobile devices. Dropbox, if I lost my computer today, everything's backed up. I can actually literally and go and open up a Dropbox on another computer and actually end up having all the files available on that computer within 24 hours. It takes not that long because I got a lot of files. But it'll save yourself a lot of problems if you have something like Dropbox. And people that say, is it like iCloud? And the answer is yes, it actually can do that. I've been using Dropbox comfortably for many years, and then we've used it to reinstall stuff on other computers. Now in Dropbox, you don't put your executable files in Dropbox. Only the information you want to save in terms of documents and whatnot you keep into Dropbox. HTML file, documents, PDF files, all your calculations, Excel files, etc. Workspace Macro Pro, that can run tedious keystrokes for you, Magic Jack, Skype, WhatsApp, make worldwide phone calls absolutely free using some of these tools. That's beautiful. And then if you want your own phone number with Skype, you can do it, all that other stuff. SearchInman.com, one of the very, very good services that reports on the real estate industry on a regular basis at the highest levels with the leadership in the business, articles from them and what's happening on an everyday basis with brokers, belly to belly with the customers kind of thing on the street, articles of interest for real estate brokers and salespeople and for companies. And you can get a lot of good ideas, managers, for articles in there for hosting your meetings and doing different things as well. Finding your iPhone, and it works. It absolutely works, people. I accidentally dropped mine getting out of the car one day. I couldn't find the darn thing, and then I found it by using tracing it back down to find my phone. Speedtest.net, I would not click on anything else on that site except using the test, because they try to sell a lot of things, but a lot of the major programmers and gurus that work on computers use that to test the speed. And minimum speeds would be things like if you had a speed of say less than 5 megabytes download speed and 1 megabyte upload speed, it's just too low. You've got to get yourself faster. The average person today in the business, if you're using regular computers, should be at least 40 megabytes download speed and 10 megabytes upload speed. That should be the standard of anybody in real estate, because time is money. And if you're sitting there on your computer waiting for things to happen, you've got to get it improved, either by calling your internet service provider, getting them to improve it, and just by asking, sometimes they improve it, or take the step and pay an extra $5 or $10 a month and get the speed improved. Apps on ICIWorld, make sure you got them installed. And snipping tool in Windows, if you get to your main screen in Windows, just type snipping tool and it'll come up, and you can snip anything that you see on your screen and save it as a file. Snagit is the one though that I use. It's more comprehensive. It can make beautiful documents. 88 things in Google. Let me see if I can just highlight. Let me click on 88 things in Google for you. And there it is. Do more with Google. There it is. Get.google.com. App tips. There they are. And I did that so that you can see what the URL is if you ever want to go there later and get a lot of tips from Google. Okay, let me just go back here and continue on. Your suggestions, we love to hear from them. Send it to customerservice@ICIWorld.com. We just love hearing from other professionals in the business, and that's where a lot of these ideas came from, was from other brokers. And the same thing for this. I'm just going to kind of move along a little quicker. Real estate apps, you should have it. Realtor.ca, for instance, you can be in your car and press it on and press on the button, and bingo, you can see how much the car is for sale that you're sitting in front of, and you can see all the information right there. You can call the broker, make an appointment, and show your people right from your car, get all the information, and you should have it, and you should have it on your iPad or a notepad so that people can see, do they want to go in. Well, another good thing is it rules houses out. So if you're looking at a 400,000 price range for a property, and then they say, oh, I want to go through that one, and you can pull it up on your screen and show them that it's a $600,000 house, a little over the budget, let's move on. And then you can be practical of what you're showing and not showing by just having stuff like that on your screen. Top CCIM apps, there's a big convention going on, CCIM global conference that's going on shortly, and we'll be attending that. And we can actually, we're going to move on, but the CCIM, we're recommending every person in the world actually take the CI 101 if you want to get interested in commercial real estate or learn how to sell some investment real estate. Take the course CI 101. I'm suggesting every single residential and commercial broker in the world take at least that one course. The ones that want to go on further, once you take the course, you're going to learn about the other courses, and you're going to want to take them further if you want to get a CCIM designation someday. And the power of the pen LinkedIn will be highlighted if you go to ccim.com. It'll tell you all about it. And then also look for the courses when you go there. If you happen to be, you can click on resources at ccim.com. In fact, I'll do that very quickly here because I can do it. It's very important because these are all professional, not only designations, but the things that you learn are going to help you and your clients, and someday people will not want to buy from anybody else when you learn. But I'm going to go to industry resources, and you can see all the CCIM chapters that are right there. So there's local chapters any place throughout the US and Canada, and if I happen to be in Canada, so I'm going to click on the one here, and if I click on Central Canada chapter, you can see that it'll bring up the chapter website. We meet at the Toronto Real Estate Board on a regular basis. We have meetings throughout the year, networking sessions, and courses coming up. So it's great to meet people, and I did a study one time, 65% of the people in the chapter did business with other people in the chapter. So that shows you how powerful the personal relationships can be, and you can meet them by joining a chapter such as this. And the chapter itself is around $129 a year, and then you can go to the main website, the ccim.com website, and learn about all of the courses and everything from there. Okay, let's move on. I know I'm covering things a little quickly, so this is just a big basic overview of some of the resources of things that we're covering throughout the year. This is to give you a handle so that if you were in my spot, you could know what we've gone through by being a real estate broker for that many years. And we've gone through the ups and downs, and from the and just, you know, when you're in Toronto, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, there's ups and downs in real estate. But as far as I'm concerned, it's either a buyer's market or a seller's market. And sometimes when you're a CCIM, you learn how to adapt one way or the other to fit the market, and you kind of go from there. That's one of the advantages of learning all of these educational tools that CCIM provides, and other courses, of course, provide as well. I've also been a speaker at real estate boards, and we do regular offices, and we're doing webinars now too, and we can do them over the internet. You just have to kind of book an appointment with us, and then at the 10 minutes before the time, open up the GoToMeeting software, depending on which one that we're running at the time. And then we can actually conduct this in your office over the phone. The reason I'm bringing up all this social media here is that we're recommending everyone have social media, because one of the things that all of you wish is more traffic for your websites, and all of these other things can help you get more traffic for your websites. Because if you have a family, even a family sort of a Facebook site, or if you're using a business Facebook site, along the way you're going to put your website out there so people can visit your website. And that's a way to get traffic to your website, is using, you know, the Twitters and the Facebooks and the LinkedIns of the world. The other thing is you want to warm people up to you, and a lot of people are buying property from out of your market area. And if they go to your LinkedIn profile, they can see the things that you belong to, for instance, such as, in fact, I'll give you an example of what I'm suggesting that you do, not just with Twitter, but with your website. And I'd like to show you, using the website's example, what you could be doing. And Olga's got a website that we just made for her, and these are $16.50, these websites. And the reason that I wanted to show it to you is to show you that you should have your professional designations down here. Okay, and you'll see her website here, and she's got all her professional designations down here. And we're recommending that you really tell people about your designations. Let them know that you're really got all this training and that you can really look after them. And there's an element of trust and safety of dealing with someone like Olga, for instance, that they're going to get treated properly and with high integrity by having all of your organizations. And you can do this on your LinkedIn profile as well. Now, Olga hasn't got her social media here, but that's the next step. This website was just created, and we've just made that for her, and she should have her social media. Oh, she's got her Facebook here, and she does have her LinkedIn. Let me just try it, see her here. If I'm logged in, view Olga's full profile. I haven't signed in. Let me see if I can sign in right now. If you hold on just 1 second, we're going to get signed in. So you see all of her information here, and I'm going to suggest that her social media could be a little higher profile. We have a way of doing that. In fact, we'll follow up on that with her after this particular seminar. But when you click on LinkedIn, and because I'm now logged in to LinkedIn, it should bring up her site here in a moment. Actually, there it is coming in, and you'll see how she can have all her information here and what it is that she does, and just go on and explain all the activities that she does and her experience, and she works with children organizations as well, and the different memberships that she belongs to. And this shows wonderful how she's a community spirited minded person and a very kind of good person to kind of deal with. So those are the kind of things that you can do, and that can help trigger leads for your website just from having that kind of information. So that's the reason we're mentioning a lot of these things down at the bottom here for you. Let them know that you belong to the National Association of Realtors or the Canadian Real Estate Association, whatever it may be, Ontario Real Estate Association, the Toronto Real Estate Board, all these real estate boards, so that you're authenticated, licensed, and people know who they're dealing with, and it's accountable for whatever happens during your real estate transaction, and it gives people a feeling of safety. And that's one of the reasons we only allow licensed real estate people to work exclusive information here, so people know they're getting looked after properly. And YouTube does the same thing. Some of our instructor license, these are people that have kindly consented to doing our seminars in the future as well, and conducting these seminars, and they're just professional people, and every one of these people have just a wonderful heart to kind of help the industry. They just love serving and answering questions for the licensed real estate industry, and to help teach, to help everyone in their careers in real estate. Why are we here today? And you've taken your time already, using up time for what we're doing, is because the highest return on investment, in my opinion, of any industry on the internet is for real estate. When you can have a $50 million property and somebody calls you on it, and you end up doing a deal, not with a lot of work done to get that deal done, but the connection being made through the internet is just absolutely incredible, because you have such a far reach. And so whether you're in a one-man office, a 10-man office, we all have our own business practice of real estate, and it's nice to belong to a major world network. Now, it's not just the network of people that are on the network, but it's actually the audience of people that are on the internet, which gives you a chance to trigger leads from the whole world. And at one time, I mean, this is really the power of the 1,000 Fortune 1,000 companies at work here, to be able to have a network like this, to be able to post information in a way that attracts people to come and read the information, but to get people worldwide to be able to read it. And believe me, people search it out, because ICIWorld has over 18,000 pages on the internet, and we were the first actual real estate company on the internet in 1994 doing this stuff. We're actually prevalent all over the world in many, many different websites. We have over 70 domain names that do work triggering leads for every single listing that's on ICIWorld. Has this power working for them to trigger leads coming in off the internet. And so it's great connections, but it's up to the individual salespeople to qualify the people to call. You qualify them from the tire kickers and curiosity seekers. You help them out and show them what they can do to kind of learn to get a hit. But then you have the tire kickers, curiosity seekers, and the time wasters, and the fraud artists, the real estate people of the world. Sort of qualify all of this on behalf of every broker. So that even though they might end up with maybe one showing, they might have had to get 20 people to kind of call to get that one showing, to be able to do that one deal. That it seems like it's very quick, but it's the tremendous amount of work that's being done in the background to qualify the people and place ads and show properties, and you show 5, 10 properties and you still haven't sold something. All of that's been going on, so that it helps the owner of the property, that if they listed with a commission percentage, that they only have to worry about the one commission percentage, no matter how much work is being done, that it's limited to that, and they only have to pay it when it sells. That's a major advantage that brokers offer the industry. And it makes it work smooth, and in the final analysis, it just seems to work just really wonderful when you do it that way for the majority of people. Literally 90% of the FSBOs in the world are being sold by licensed real estate people. So why not just list it with them in the beginning, and then, you know, get it done and let them do all the work right from the beginning, instead of you having to go through it. Because the buyers, they just want to subtract the price of that commission anyway, so you end up saving it in the final analysis when you think about it. So why not just, you know, if the commission is going to hold back a property, somebody buying a property, maybe they shouldn't be buying it in the first place. But anyways, that's another story when it comes to investment. Because 90% of the millionaires, they made it in the world in real estate. It's just a matter of time before the properties go up and continue. They level off, go up. Yes, they sometimes come back a little bit, but it's usually corrections before they start to go up again. And probably the worst one we've ever heard in the world, somebody took like an extra 4 years and 11 years to maybe recoup their price. And that's one of the worst stories, but they finally did get their money back. So that could be maybe the worst one that we've ever heard of, but all the rest of the people, they just make a good solid hedge against inflation, where literally 90% of the millionaires in the world made it in real estate, and it's a great hedge on inflation to invest in real estate. Yes, you can do business completely around the world, and not just in your state or province, but literally around the world. There's a way to do it. And we have literally testimonials from every company that you see here. There's some great testimonials, and you should do this on your phone. And the reason why you should do it is to learn how sometimes deals are being done. So when you click on these testimonials and you read about them, this is to get you excited that every single person that's listening to this can do deals, can make connections no matter where you are located. You can be getting calls from people off the internet. You can be the one person in your state or province. You'll end up getting the referrals for your state or province. And that's some brokers haven't joined because I don't see a bunch of other listings there, and yet the calls are coming in, the people are looking, and the other way to kind of know that that's happening is to go to ICIWorld's database number 2. And I haven't done this in past seminars, but I'm going to do it now. I'm going to click here, and I'm going to go to, one moment, continue on. And I'm going to go into database number 2, and I want to show you that we have literally people from all over the world that are posting information on this service. And I'm actually going to go just click on search, and these are all coming in from all over the world. These are listings coming in from all over the world. And if I go back and pick a country, and I'm just going to pick a couple of countries, I can start with USA, and you're going to see that there's over 4,000 listings coming in from the public here, from literally in the United States. And that's way more listings than we have from the brokers. So the public is here searching for listings. We'd like the brokers to be posting their information. And if I was to go to even, let's go right into Asia just for fun. And you'll see properties are coming in from Asia. So people are connecting in here very, very nicely. And you'll see how they're coming in from Asia, from literally all over the world. Let's go pick Europe here and see what's coming in. I just want to give everybody a quick glance to show you how information's coming in from literally all over the world, haves and wants both. There's Portugal, it's just Bulgaria, it's just all over the world. People can connect in here, so it would be good for everybody that's listening to this to be able to post properties in those areas in database number 1, where people can call you. And to just show you the difference, you'll see that there are, when you click on search, that there are choices here to search database 1, which is information placed by the broker members. And when people click on that, I'm going to sort them by price just for fun and search. You'll see that the properties are coming up from all over the world sorted by price. The nice thing about this is when somebody clicks on one of these, you get the contact name and number right here on these properties. So in other words, when you're a member, people can click on this, people can see your information here, and they can contact you directly. Okay, on all of these listings. You have to be a member to do that, and it's as little as $40 a month or $3.19 per year to join. No contract. And you can do the same thing also for residential. Now, there's also a database number 2 that you can search here, over here, the FSBO area, and you have to be a member in order to search the contact information, because right now the only thing you can see, the public and the worldwide, are these listings. You cannot click on these in database 2. You can post your information free, and that's kind of good for customers who want to post it on ICIWorld absolutely free, because it's only a licensed real estate broker that can call you that would have a buyer or a seller. You're not going to get all kinds of things that can happen off the internet, all the fraud artists of the world. and those kinds of things. At least our security levels, that hasn't happened. But the problem is that if you post it in database 1, you have the licensed real estate salesperson who can qualify those callers so that they can prevent those things from happening, because they're all trained to kind of watch out for. And there's a lot of procedures in place to track money, especially $10,000 or more and all that kind of stuff. They kind of look after you. Okay, so a lot of deals being done. Everyone can make connections. Our pledge is that everyone does do deals either every 90 days or at the very least triggers leads that helps you do deals. And if you're not getting leads every 90 days, you are missing something. You either don't have the widgets on your website, you don't have 15 listings, or your listings are not up to date. If you take any one of those three out of the equation, you might as well as even join the service in the first place. And if you were one of those people that didn't have those three things working, you give us a call back. We have a one-time restart privilege for anybody listening to help you get back restarted. Okay, one of the important figures here on the profile of home buyers done by the National Association of Real Estate is that 90%, when you say 9% sold without an agent, I mean 91% sold with an agent. And people are using the internet to search for homes. So that's something really good to know, because we have a strategy for, we think it's one of the best ones in the world to be used in conjunction with all the other coaches in the world. And if the other coaches in the world want to use some of the techniques here, by all means. And we're going to show you a powerful technique that is being used here that can be used by all the people that you coach, so that you can use it in your coaching programs as well. Just a quick rundown that ICIWorld has over 30,000 have and wants. These are exclusive, a lot of them, and we're going to be teaching how to work exclusive listings that can trigger leads just like a regular real estate board listing can. You can do it for commercial and residential, such as properties coming for sale, all the FSBOs in the world. We got 3 nice questions you can ask any FSBO owner, and they could give you a verbal permission to show it. You do it without placing an address, of course, and then when somebody calls you, you tell them you have to put an agreement in place first. We're going to cover that in a moment. Assignments, postings, and more. 2 databases. We've basically shown you those 2 databases already. When you search, you can search database 1, information placed by a broker. You have to be a member. The public can read it, call you directly. It's like putting an ad in USA Today where the whole world can read it. It's like putting an ad on any world newspaper type classified ad or any place on the internet. People can call you directly. You qualify the callers, and you should do it very, very quickly, and don't waste your time. Get right into. Now, normally they're very qualified ads because we have special kinds of information that you're going to be sharing, like the area, the general area of a property, the type of property, and a price range. That literally pre-qualifies a caller when they call you, so they're almost well qualified when they call. And then as you develop a business relationship, you can kind of verify that as you go along. But database 2 is where the public can post information absolutely free. And if you have a property and any buyer or seller can post properties on ICIWorld absolutely free. And if you are a broker or salesperson and have an exclusive listing and for one reason or another are not joining ICIWorld, you can post it in database 2 and give all our members an opportunity to kind of work on that if it's an exclusive listing. If it's on MLS, it's not necessary because we're recommending everybody use MLS as well, the best service in the world. But once you search that, there's not a need to kind of post it in database 2 where it goes into a private FSBO area and for our members only. The public may add their halves are the properties for sale and for lease, and the wants are what it is that you wish to buy. We do both residential and commercial. Our service started as a commercial service for 20 years, and the last 3 we've incorporated residential bigger, and now with the advent of the internet, there's a lot of exclusive information on the internet right now in residential because so many people are trying to sell their properties for themselves privately, but they don't have a network like you do, like the people that are listening here. And especially with ICIWorld, you can work the exclusive information on a major world network, ICIWorld here, and to trigger information. So if you have a property coming for sale, bingo, you can get a call literally within 24 hours and within a matter of minutes sometimes of putting it on ICIWorld. And then you tell the people that once you get the listing signed, you'll make an appointment for them to see it, and you'll put them on a list. And if it hasn't been sold when you get it signed, then they have a chance to still kind of go through, be one of the first people through the property once it's signed. The power of ICIWorld, yes, there's a major world membership, readership, and we're fortunate that we've had it developed a database that can do these kinds of things. It was a database that was quoted as $5 million at one time to actually have this kind of thing built to serve the world. The public calls you directly on your ads. There's different levels of securities for doing different things. If you're a company that wants only your own listings showing in a link, we have that supplied and already made to show you. 20,000 subscribers actually receive haves it once by email daily. It's automatic. You post the listing here, bingo, it gets sent out to the industry by email. It's done that fast. There's a lot of competition to this kind of stuff, so there's reasons why people haven't promoted it in their own sphere of influence, because sometimes, and these are wonderful services that other people are offering too, so we're suggesting that you can use the other services, and this is just another service as well that you could incorporate into your marketing plans for the next year. Would you like your listings to be shown on 1,500 other brokers' websites? If you do, you can answer yes, and then your listings can be shown on all these other various websites instantly and automatically, and all these other brokers are spending thousands of dollars promoting their websites. So can you imagine 1,500 other brokers spending money to promote their websites, and if it's in your province or state, what a tremendous, tremendous penetration of the marketplace this is to get your information out to the marketplace, so that you end up getting calls from another broker who's going to call you up and say, I have a lead for you. Is a 25% referral commission okay with you? So that can happen very quickly when you add a listing to ICIWorld. We have over 18,000 pages displaying links on the internet to the listings. So whenever you see advertising for ICIWorld, it's really advertising for your own listings once you're a member, because if somebody sees their advertising on the front page of a real estate publication of some sort, which we're on the front page of many, several actually, and then in the marketplace, so we're not just on the internet, we're actually out in the field in trade publication magazines that reach readerships in excess of 300,000 people, according to these people that we subscribe to. And that means if somebody goes to see the website and sees a listing and they call you, it could have happened because of all of that stuff that we're doing on your behalf. But we do get people from over 138 countries coming in on a regular basis, and it's on a server all by itself or not shared. And the access through the websites that you see there, the mobile website is really fast, quick, and easy, the same as the apps as well. And some of the sample information that we post, these are real estate boards, which we're compatible with real estate boards throughout the industry. And one of the things, we have a very busy booth at the, it's not only the Canada's largest realtor conference, but I think it's the second largest realtor show in the world, and next to maybe the National Association of Real Estate convention, and maybe one other one in Germany, I think. But basically, it's one of the largest real estate shows in the world that every realtor who's in real estate can actually attend. You call up, you can pay a little, I don't know, $50 or something for the day and attend, even though it's on the real estate board. But nowhere can you see more products and services in one day as you can by going to this one particular show. And our booth is one of the busiest at the show. And we have people joining today say, Gary, I couldn't even get near you because it was 3 lines deep at the show. One of the reasons is that we make a statement that you could have a $30,000 website and it's not as powerful as the one from ICIWorld for $16.50. And the nice thing about it is you can have more than one website. You don't have to be just one website. Websites are like billboards. You can have more than one, and you can link them together. It's wonderful, and you can see how the reason why they're powerful. And it's powerful because of the networks, because if you're an independent salesperson with a brokerage office on the street in your city, isn't it be nice to be connected to the world services where thousands of people can see not only your listings, but how about your exclusive information that there is no other place to network on such a large basis on an industry-wide platform that's made specially for it. Front page of different magazines and articles that you see here going on all of these are wonderful publications, and you know, you want to try to use all the major real estate publications and organizations and services and internet services that you can to market your property, because you never know. In as a certain sense, marketing is like fishing. You never know where your next deal is coming from. So if you can put your line in the water in all these various sources, it's just a matter of time before it kind of comes up for you. And so again, we're at the top of search engines coming up various places in the world. And but our goal is to help you come up in the major search engines of the world at the top in your community, and that's one of our goals. So we like to help you do that. And you do that by just simply making an appointment, and then we can help comment on your website. Everyone has consultation for their websites throughout the year. A good 1 hour consultation can really help every single person who has a real estate website. Should have perhaps a 1 hour consultation, and we'll give you nice ideas to help improve what you presently have. At least, and then help enhance what you presently have with ideas, resource center, what can go into it. Everybody should have, why should you work with a realtor? Should be a link on your resource center on your website. Lawyers' fees, to give people an idea, land transfer tax, how to calculate mortgages, stuff like that can be in a resource center on your website in addition to the listings. From a broker's point of view, it's the listings that trigger the call. Today's session is about how to work exclusive information. We're going to be coming to that here shortly. And this does provide extra opportunities for you to make money. Don't treat it lightly. You will kick yourself 1 or 2 years from now if you're not working exclusive information now, and learn it fast and quick and go out and try it right away. And then call us back, let us know how you do, and we can make sure that you get on the right track right away. So how to work exclusive information becomes inventory on the internet that can trigger a lead for $1 million property that could be exclusive that you couldn't get the listing on, and there's a way that you can work it. And then you can put an agreement in place first before you divulge information on the property. And a lot of properties up in Lake Tahoe and other places around the world are actually sold this way on an exclusive basis, where somebody says, listen, you bring me in a buyer, I'll pay you a commission, but I don't want to give you a listing. Well, get some verbal permission that you can do that, but tell them you're going to do it without the address, and we're going to cover that here momentarily. It's coming right up. You must follow the guidelines for marketing real estate, whatever licensing body you're licensed under in any state or province. And I know in the province of Ontario, it's called RICO, the Real Estate Council of Ontario. And we're going to be covering an article directly from there. The whole service started out of a book that I read called At the Business at the Speed of Thought. If you can think something in your mind and you can write it down, bingo, you can work it. But every real estate licensing body has a requirement that if you're going to give an address of a property for sale, you must have the consent of the owner in writing. You must have the consent of the owner in writing if you're going to advertise a property and give an address to somebody. But if you don't give the address, if you simply say $1 million property in your city, whether it's a 10% cap rate or a double car garage and a ground level family room, depending on whether it's residential or commercial, you can do that kind of thing because you're networking information. Now, when somebody calls you, you must not give them the address, and we're going to cover that, how you handle it. That means the whole world opens up to you. All the FSBOs in the world open up to you, and every FSBO in every city should be placed on here in a special way. And when somebody says, I want to give you a listing, or I don't want to give you a listing, but I'll pay you a commission, that information can be worked. If you have a property coming for sale, builders who say, listen, I'll build you a custom new home, 2,400 square feet, and I can sell it to you, $1.2 million with ground level family rooms and brick fireplaces and all that kind of stuff. There's a way to kind of advertise it there, but get the permission from the owners first, and do not divulge the address until you actually put an agreement in place first, whether it's a 48-hour exclusive listing or something to cover that showing from get it from the owner. If you have troubles getting it from the owner, you can get it from the buyer, and we're not going to cover that today, but just to keep your mind open. There's a lot of people that don't want to sell their property on the internet. If you have a business and it's a restaurant, a lot of times you don't want people to know that your business is for sale. Well, you, as a licensed real estate practitioner, can provide confidentiality to that particular owner, the same way lawyers have confidential restrictions on information, and accountants have doctors have confidentiality of information. You can also provide confidentiality of information, and all business brokers do that as well. They advertise the business, but they don't say exactly where it is. You have to call them first. They can qualify you first so that it's a qualified person that will hear about that particular thing, and you can even run it by the owner and ask for special permission for someone to get it. And you'll be surprised how many competition people that are competing to a business just want to find out the books to find out how you're making out on your business so they can compare it with their business. So you got to be very careful who you release information to from a business point of view. The second thing is, if you have a property, some people don't want the interior of their homes being plastered all over the internet with all their Van Goghs and Picassos and works of art and the beautiful treasures that they have in their home. They don't want them plastered all over the internet, so they want it done on more of an exclusive basis. You can do that. And then, of course, developers sometimes are dealing with somebody trying to sell a property, and in the middle of selling a property, they don't want to tie it up with some other broker who may or may not have a buyer, so they'll just say, if you bring me an offer, I'll pay you a commission. So those are the kind of issues that are going on out there to market property, that you can, lots of exclusive opportunities out there and for sale by owners. And brokers protected on signs, that kind of thing. There's a way to work it here. And how do you do it? You do it by asking these 3 special questions, which have been designed over the years, and anybody that has not used these questions over the years or has used them improperly will not use them, or don't use them properly, will not make money. I'll give you an example. We had one broker that said to us, Gary, I've been trying your 3 questions. I didn't make any money. 3 months has gone by. What am I doing wrong? And I want to thank that broker for asking me the opportunity to help them. And we have a special pledge that if you're not making money every 90 days or triggering leads to make money, give us a call. We're a broker, been in it for over 40 years developing this service. This is not like just a website company where none of the people are brokers and don't know what's going on in the industry, but they're happy to make a beautiful, pretty website, which is wonderful, and connect to the IDX link for your real estate board. That's one way to make money, and that's good, and that's wonderful. We support that. We absolutely support all the websites in the world. We actually deal with over 30 website companies supporting all of that. But in addition to that, there's other things that can be done. For instance, somebody says, I don't want to give you a listing, but I'll pay you a commission. You ask them the first question, and the broker that didn't make money in my case, he said he asked the person, will they pay him a commission? And the person says, I don't want to list with you. I don't want to pay a commission. Okay, and if you don't mind, I've got an appointment, I've got to go. But he failed to mention the second part of that question was, if I bring you a buyer. That's a whole different story. If I bring you a buyer, would you pay me a commission? Yeah, I'll pay you a commission if you have a buyer, no problem. But I don't want to give you a listing right now. And that's that second question. But once I have a buyer, would you cover me with a 48-hour exclusive listing? That's totally different from asking for a 48-hour exclusive listing right now. That's different. So each part is a different question. It took us 1 year just to learn that one thing that I'm showing you on the screen. And the third question is, brokers don't even do it. May I advertise your property, but I'm going to do it without disclosing the address. And the reason you're doing that is because of this. A registrant shall not include anything in an advertisement that could reasonably be used to identify specific real estate unless the owner of real estate has consented in writing. So in other words, if you don't identify the property, you can network it as a piece of information on the internet. So when somebody calls you, though, the first thing they're going to ask you for is the address. So you make a statement that in this particular case, we have to put an agreement in place first, and if it's okay with you, I can show it to you on Saturday. You come to my office and I'll make arrangements for you to see it. And then on Friday, you go get yourself a 48-hour exclusive listing agreement to show it. That means you can have 15 pieces of information working now to trigger a lead. You simply say that. And a lot of property around the world is being sold this way. Commercial brokers have been doing it for years, and now residential brokers learning how to do it. You put an agreement in place first before you show a property that's exclusive. And if you give an address to somebody, shame on you. You heard it here. We've got it in many, many videos. We've been making videos for years here. It's in all our videos. So if you've given out an address and somebody went behind your back and bought the property, shame on you. You gave it away. I would not give it away without having an agreement in place. You got too much at stake. Coming for sale, same thing. Somebody calls you on a property that's coming for sale. You might have a listing that's coming for sale in 1, 2, 3 weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4 months. Coming for sale, condo. Approximately $450,000. That's coming for sale. Somebody calls you. and they say, do you mind, I'd like to drive by the property. Well, depending on how you give the address, you could give it away. You be careful. You give them a message that in this particular case, we have to put an agreement in place first before I give you the address or divulge, the identity of that property. But if it's okay with you, I can put your name on a list. And once I get the agreement signed, I'll call you back. And if you're still looking, you can be one of the first people through the property. How does that sound? So that means that once you go ahead and get your MLS listing signed someday, they can be on the list. You call them back, you go show the property, and everybody's going to be, you have an opportunity to get buyers even ahead of the property before it's signed. Okay, next. The first one here, if you advertise a property like that, does not give the address of the property, but if I said it was at Mississauga and Dundas Street, or here Ontario and Dundas Street, that's like identifying the property. And even if there's 3 restaurants there, if I give the address, people can figure out which one it is within a half an hour. And if the commission is 10%, that's $35,000. Someone can actually go direct on you and try to save $35,000, and that could have been enough to help put your kids through school for a year, buy a new car, go on vacation, and pay a few bills. That's a lot of money because you gave the information away. This is the confidential information in our industry, the same way lawyers have confidential information and doctors have confidential information. You must protect your confidential information, put an agreement in place to cover your showing. And that way you can get paid. Your agreements, all the listing agreements state that if you introduce a person during the term of the listing, you can get paid. You got to have a listing in place first. Judges will recognize that and respect that. If you've gone to all that work and effort and you've got something in writing and then you showed it during the term of the listing, that's exactly what the listing said. He's going to turn around to either the other broker or the buyer or the owner of the property and say, here's a guy who's been working his butt off trying to get people to see your property and finally did it and did a job and you're not paying him. And that throws the onus. Usually things are settled out of court because the other lawyer says this is a lay down case for them and it'll get settled. So this is how to handle it. Put agreements in place first. So that means that on ICIWorld, when we have 30,000 listings, it doesn't mean that we don't put agreements in place first before showing the property or before divulging the address of the property to someone. So you can be working exclusive type information, trigger leads just like real estate board listings do, and get buyers and sellers for that kind of stuff, for your wants and for your haves. In this case here, if you said it was an Esso gas station in Lindsay, you actually gave it away because there's only one Esso gas station in Lindsay. If you said it was a $30 million shopping mall, people can figure out what it is because there's only 1 or 2 shopping centers worth that much money in that area. So in the first case, you might say branded gas station 1 hour to your city, to Toronto, or something like that. Or you might say $30 million shopping center and in your province, if there's lots of them. But if you have not many shopping centers in your state or province, you just might say Southwestern USA or Southeastern USA if it's 100 million and if it's 1 billion, you just might use the term confidential on ICIWorld, specifically made for properties that are so large a price that it gives it away. You can use the term confidential. And then there's also another way to do it is that you can place it through either another broker in another even country. Actually, you can't. You gotta, if you're going to list a property in your province or state, you actually have to be licensed in your province or state to be putting a property on ICIWorld unless you get the cooperation from another broker. And if you have 2 brokers on a property, then a person theoretically in Ontario can work on a property in Florida if a Florida broker is on the listing and gave permission to the Ontario broker to do it and vice versa. Now we actually have brokers that have a special license in all these various different states where if you're a broker in another state and you want to list it in another state and you don't have a license for it, we have brokers that are licensed that for a fee of between I forget what the amounts are, between $700 and $2,500 depending on the price of the property. They'll do it for you so that if it sells in that state or province, it's going to be properly handled by the broker in that particular state, and then you can still receive the majority of the commission. So keep that in mind going forward. You have a special broker that does that. And that way, as far as the licensing body is concerned, a broker is looking after the trade in real estate for that particular property, because every state and province has different rules and regulations, and they want to make sure that the public is being looked after properly, and by doing it this way, they all get looked after properly. So that's how to work exclusive information. Now, when it comes to products and services on ICIWorld, oh, by the way, the tremendous amount of business being done with this exclusive information. We've got $50 million properties on land being sold in the Greater Toronto area. We've got, again, the same thing for office buildings, $75 million office buildings being sold, right down to small properties and small businesses, laundromats, and you name it. Everything can get sold through here on an exclusive type basis, triggered from exclusive piece of information on ICIWorld for residential and commercial. Just read the testimonials, you'll see what's happening. All of those testimonials, over 50 pages of them, and they're coming in all the time, are exclusive information, triggered leads from ICIWorld. Now, that's one service we have of networking information, and every single broker and salesperson in the world should have a minimum of 15 items working within 90 days of joining. You should have that working in your marketplace, no matter what state or province. But in addition to that, if you have a website, you can have the information on your website of these exclusive opportunities. And I'm actually going to pick out one right now and show you how you can have, if you go, in fact, I'll show you how to get more. Go to ICIWorld.com. Go down to For Members and go down here to number 3, which are mobile-friendly websites, and you'll see number 2 are the widgets that can go on your website. And I'm going to cover the widgets first, if I may, because there's so many people have existing websites, and I'm going to show you how the widgets can work on your website. This, people, becomes absolutely inevitable to trigger leads. I'm going to demonstrate it over the next 4 minutes. You be the judge. Can this trigger leads for you, no matter where your website is, real estate website, and where you're located in the world, and the reason to make it worth joining ICIWorld. I'm going to click on this one here as a commercial one, just for the sake of argument. This is an example, by the way, of a $16.50 website, very smartly done by Bruce Brown. And we're the ones that developed this website for him. It's all included. All the design is done by us. It's the same price from the hosting people if you get it directly from them or from us. But the benefit is you get 2 major levels of support. And I'm going to cover a little bit more on mobile websites in a moment, because these come up on a mobile phone absolutely beautiful. But what I'm talking about are the widgets. These are the widgets from ICIWorld. I'm going to start with the first one called My ICI Haves and Wants. These are the listings or the exclusive information from Bruce Brown. Now, if I was to click on the very first one and I go down here, you'll see that Bruce has an MLS listing on this one. And the reason why some of the brokers get a lot of action here, we had one broker, for instance, that had a $4 million shopping center on his real estate board, and he got 3 calls. He put it on ICIWorld and he got 30 calls and sold it. So there can be a help sometimes selling an MLS listing by putting it on ICIWorld as well. But you should do all of those services. You shouldn't eliminate one over the other, because you never know which one can actually do it. This other one here also happens to be, you'll see that it happens to be on MLS, which is wonderful. And we could talk to Bruce later. I don't know if he sold it yet, but we could find out on a later basis. Let's go to the next one. And actually, that one happens to be MLS. You can see down there too. And let's see if we can find one that if he's got exclusive. And I wonder if he has. All of Bruce's listings seem to be on both services, and that's wonderful. I don't know if he's done an exclusive one here yet. Actually, not at the moment. Let's try another one here. They're all exclusive in Bruce's case. I can bet that one is as well. Go down here, and where does it say here? Oh, it's got to go down a little bit further. And this one here happens to be a listing. It's probably not on MLS, but it has to be an exclusive listing in this particular case. That's a piece of future development land. And development land is big time on ICIWorld. And if people want to go to his website, we're recommending that you can promote your website by telling people, go to my website, click on the province or state that you're located in, and then depending on your province or state, you can end up with something like this. And if people are interested in, say, a builder looking for subdivision potential land, they can click on it, and up comes all these beautiful listings. And you'll notice, literally from $250 million on down, and all these, now in the case of this land, by the way, 90% of these actually are exclusive, not on real estate boards. And you'll see in the case of some of these properties here, if we were to click on one of these, and you'll notice you can't do it. This is by design. So in other words, if you have two important things happening, the first one is the content, having all of this content on your personal website. And secondly, it's important that if people cannot click on that, that means they have to contact you if this is your website. And this should be a no-brainer for every single person in the business. I've been a broker for over 40 years. This absolutely can trigger calls. It becomes absolutely inevitable. Someday somebody's going to be interested in one of these listings. They have no choice but to call you. Now, you could be in residential or commercial. And then I'm going to show you some of these other ones here that can come up. These are all the different categories of people's choices that they can click on. Now, we also have choices for residential, which I'll show you in a moment, but if people are interested in shopping centers, would you like to have over 300 shopping centers on your website? There they are. Join ICIWorld, get the widgets sent to you, forward them to your website designer, and it's done. It's one email instruction to you that you forward to your website designer. We do recommend a follow-up appointment so we can go and check to make sure that these widgets are working properly. By the way, they have another benefit. If you're going to try on a listing appointment and you're trying to get a listing on, say, a little apartment building, there is a complete list of buyers that are now also showing up on your website as well. So you can show how well connected you are into the marketplace of buyers just by putting those widgets on your website. So in consideration of us doing this particular webinar and seminar in offices and real estate offices, we sort of have a one-time 6-minute presentation on our services, and one of our services is supplying these widgets, and that's for our membership of $319 per year, which it is at the moment. And this is being conducted in the year 2017. It could change up or down depending on whether our service gets bought out by somebody someday, big or small, or and now wants to offer it for less or more. I don't know. But if a major finance company ever buys us, they might offer it for free. Who knows? And then they like to maybe do all of the financing deals on the service. So who knows what can happen going forward. We've incubated this service to the point where a major large world service can come and pick it up and offer it to other people and to carry whatever it is that we started here forward. Because it can work for every country of the world immediately. We can just make a widget and call it a country, and everybody in that country can start using it. That's how fast and easy it can be designed, and then you make the website accordingly and embellish the website the way you would want to for your organization or whatever it is that you do. So the internet database is where the majority of work has already been done for you, and it can be altered and set up very, very quickly. Now, these websites that we have also have color photos as well. And I just clicked on it right now so that you can see all of the beautiful color photos and slideshow displays that can kind of come up on the site. And if somebody's interested in one of these properties, they can simply click on it. And the beautiful thing about it is your personal contact information is going to come up right beside all these other listings that other brokers have agreed to allow them to be on your website. Now, some of you, if you have questions along the way, if you mark this telephone number down, in the United States, it's Florida number 954-317-2327, 954-317-2327. Let me flash it on the screen here too so that you'll have it in case you want to write it down. Hang on one second. Let me just open up another window and pop open this screen here and go to contact. There's the number in Florida, 954-317-2327. And then in Canada, you can mark down the the 840-6227 416 number, 840-6227. And North America, there is the 1-800 number. But if you're going to talk to us for any length of time, please make sure you tell us you're calling the 1-800 number, because that gets charged by the minute, and we're always watching the nickels and the pennies on behalf. We are a society of real estate brokers and salespeople, so we watch the pennies. We pass the savings on to all the members, and that way it keeps the price of the network down for everyone as well. Okay, so the real estate widgets, absolutely inevitable for you to generate leads, and they go on every single broker's website. Now, what we can do is show you also that you can have, let me go to maybe another website here, Olga's Homes, and I'm going to show some residential listings here now as well. You'll see how she has residential up here. I'm going to click on these residential exclusive listings over here, and you'll see how residential listings come up on the screen. And if you wanted to see the latest properties, you could do there, or if somebody wanted to click on Toronto, we could click on Toronto there, and there they are coming up on the screen. So if somebody is interested in this particular property here, Toronto coming for sale for $2.9 million, and it's near Yonge and St. Clair with a pool, bingo, they're going to call you with that message number. And they're going to say, can you help me? Now, if you happen to be in commercial real estate and you don't want to sell residential real estate, or you happen to be in a, in a U.S. city or Vancouver or some other place, and you get a call on this Toronto property, you're going to locate that broker who's got that listing and say, listen, I have a lead for you. Is a 25% referral commission okay with you? You're going to call that other broker and say, I got a lead off my website on ICIWorld, and somebody's interested in message 281120 or 346588 or whatever the number is. And then what you're going to do is call the other broker and say, I have a lead for you. Is a 25% referral commission okay with you? That's a 5-minute phone call, and it is averaging, $3,000 to $10,000. So we have one broker now that has done 15 of those. That's a total of 75 minutes of his time, and he made $45,000 for doing those 15 referrals. So that's the kind of triggering working, we call it working smarter, not harder, by having this. If you don't have this on your website, you have no chance to trigger a lead on any of these. If you have it on your website, the very next person that visits and sees any one of these listings literally has to call you. You will also have with our websites, and I'm going to go right into the websites now, we also have other brokers who have these websites that have agreed to allow their listings to be on your website as well. So when somebody comes to your website, they can actually see these listings, they can click on these photos, and I'm going to show you now from the mobile, beautiful nature of these websites. One moment, let me just kind of make it easier for you to see. But this is a sample of what a mobile website, let me go right back to the main page here of this website, to the home page. This is what a mobile website could look like. Okay, you'll see it all kind of coming up here on the screen. Absolutely beautiful. And the beautiful part is there's a little hamburger button up here which people can click on, and if people want to search, these are all the different choices. I'll start with the residential because I started with the commercial on the other one, and you can see how the properties come up beautifully on this website. So if somebody's interested in one of these listings, they can click on it, and they can go down the page and they can see your picture down here. This can be you. And we can set this up. It's a 1-hour design for the website, one-on-one, no matter whether you're in Florida, California, Vancouver, no matter where you are in the world, you're going to have homes that are in your area that can come up here. And people can click on these and actually see the interior color photos of the home coming up on your website. So that's the kind of thing that can be done with these mobile websites. It's a mobile website that can go onto your customers' phones, and they can have this on their phone. So that's the exciting thing that can be happening with these websites, which are free for 1 month. After that, they're $16.50, but you have to, when you call us, depending on when you call us, the prices could change. It's okay with this price right now, which are grandfathered forward usually going forward. So the earlier you kind of get to us before prices change, the better it is, because they'll lock them in for a period of time going forward, hopefully. But that's the kind of thing you can get a call on that and end up doing a referral. So you're going to have lots of content that is going to be on your website under residential. All of this is designed from a broker's point of view. The GTA Homes does it. Now, in this case, she is missing the search MLS in her case, and that's because we just developed this website and we need to add it to her website. But I'll take you to another website that's already got it. And these, again, this is a website that we helped design and get it running, and you'll see how the slideshow starts to take place of the pictures. We call this the splash presentation. So if you want the splash presentation website, when you call us, please mention splash presentation website. Now, when we click on residential here, she has one extra button. She's got the residential exclusives down here, and this is our new residential mobile widget. In fact, let me just demonstrate that now. This is the mobile residential widget, the new one that Olga doesn't have on the other website yet. Now, if I wanted to sort all of the residential listings, you'll see it's on the default of residential, and I could choose a city if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to change it to price and sort the listings by price, just for fun to see what's coming in. You'll see all the different properties that are kind of coming in by price right off the bat. Now, the interesting thing is nobody can click on that, so they have to call Olga for more information on any listing. But if people want to maybe choose maybe another city, they can go in here and they can choose Canada, they can choose Ontario, they could choose Greater Toronto, and theoretically if they want to choose a special city, any place, it doesn't matter what it is, Toronto or any place, and then again you can sort them by price, you search, bingo, they all come up on the screen right off the bat. So that's what can be done for residential as well. So if another broker calls you someday and you've got one of these sites, they might say, somebody called on that. I happen to be from another city. I don't serve Brampton, but I have a lead for you. Is a 25% referral commission on the selling commission okay with you? So if the commission happened to be $30,000 on this one, $15,000 goes to the listing agent, $15,000 to the selling agent, you would make 25% of the $15,000, which is almost it's basically $3,750 for doing a 5-minute referral, while providing a great service to someone from out of town to go and make a connection for this broker that knows the area, because they've got listings right in that area right now. So you're providing a good service to the industry by doing referrals, and brokers do referrals. You know, when you go to a doctor and you have a problem with your heart, he immediately refers you to a heart specialist. You're doing the same thing. You're going to refer them to the broker that's got the listing in that area and knows all about it. So that's the way this kind of information works, and if you've got these listings on your website, you have a chance to trigger leads. What other widgets do you have? Well, we have business opportunities here. If somebody's interested in a hotel, a motel, a gas station, a power of sale, would you like to have power of sales on your website? Those are the kind of things that we can kind of do with information here. This is a message that we're trying to get out to the industry, and you can see you've been here for a long time just trying to absorb all of this stuff. But once you absorb it, there's only two things you do. By the way, let me show you the FSBOs. You can actually have FSBOs all over the world in this on this website. The Atlantic provinces, Ontario, all over. You can have the websites if you want them all over the world. We've only got them for Canada on this particular website, but we should have them all over the world. And in fact, if you're one of our members and see this, you can request the world FSBO listings for your website. And just to give you an example of what is happening all over the world, I'm going to go back here and I'm going to just go into it in a little different way to show these world listings that you can have on your website, and there they are. So if you want to click on Europe or USA or pick a province or a state, and I'm actually just going to pick Florida here if I wanted to pick Florida for one quick instance here. Where is the USA by regions? I'm going to click on that, and I think I can click on USA South East, which is over here. I'll just click on that for now. Just to give you an idea, there's over 1,000 listings placed by the public here in the US. So when you get access, and when you join ICIWorld, you're going to have access to all of this information now, plus the new information that's being added on a regular basis as well, kind of going forward. So that's the kind of thing. If you need help to read some of that, I can actually make it a little bit bigger. So that's Southeast. And if you wanted to see what's going on in California, I just pointing this out because we've got brokers that are coming to a world convention from all over the U.S. and I wanted to kind of click on the USA regions and go to the USA Southwest to see what's happening here on this service. And you'll see that there's over 1,000 listings placed that affect the Southwest USA as well, and properties in, Arizona and California, etc. Sacramento, there's 2.8 acres of land, commercial land in Sacramento, California, etc. All of these kind of things are being placed by the public. And you can actually call these people, get the information, and place it in database one so you get the calls and actually can go help sell it. And when you're a member, you'll be able to click on this member access over here. And if I was to click on USA on the left, you'll see that you can actually click on these listings right here and get the contact name and number of that particular person who's got that property. Okay, let's go back here. So these are the real estate widgets. We've discussed that. And one of the very powerful features of our service. The next, that's the widgets. And then, of course, we support all websites in the world. We simply send you an email. You forward it to your website designer. They install it for you. And then you call us for a follow-up appointment. If, like a doctor, if you have an operation, he likes to see you 2 weeks later, see how everything is. We'd like to have an appointment as well after it is installed to make sure that it's working properly. We do find issues with different website designers from time to time, but a lot of them now are so used to putting our widgets on, it's not a problem. And that's why you can consider having more than one website, because you could end up with the websites that we also supply, which, I never did show you the IDX link that we will install for your real estate board, pardon me, and I'm going to give you an example, and I'll use Nadia's website to do it. And when we go to residential, you see that you can search the MLS. So whether you're in Orange County, California, or you're in the, Miami-Dade real estate board, or whatever real estate board you have in the world, we can actually install this link if they have it available. It's called the IDX link from your board, and we actually install it free if it's available. It's free with your membership on ICIWorld, which is the $319 per year. Or if you're getting people to join, it's $240 per year, and if you get 4 people to join, it's actually free per year. Okay, but you can see how you can be searching the real estate board for listings in your particular area, and you can do it, from the map. I think it all comes up here by the map. If I keep on clicking this process line, you can zero in on different areas, and then when you click on this particular listing here, the beautiful thing is your name will come up here with this particular listing, because this is a special arrangement with the real estate board. The only problem here, of course, is that the addresses are showing, so it is possible that people can end up going direct to the property and seeing the for sale sign on the front of the property and calling this particular broker on the property. However, when you have all of these links on your website, sooner or later, they're going to maybe click on one of these other residential exclusive ones, and if they're searching, maybe in Toronto, for instance, and they come down here and they want to search for a listing that's in Toronto, let me just pick Toronto here for instance, and search Toronto maybe in an area. They can search, and when they see one of these listings here, they cannot click on that. So hopefully these are going to trigger the leads from you from your website, so that it gives you a chance to work with them. And that's all you can really do. That's all we can really do from ICIWorld, is help to trigger a lead. It's still dependent upon you. That's why we say our pledge is not only that you should be making money every 90 days, but at the very least, we say that we can trigger the leads for you. There's no question about that you can be generating leads. And for $319 with one lead, you can actually make enough to pay for a lifetime of services. Okay, let's move on here. That completes our little thing here. This how to promote your website. In finishing here, what good is a website if you have no traffic? We have a live monthly webinar that is how to promote your website. We register. You just simply go to ICIWorld.com. You click on for members and go down and register for the webinar, How to Promote Your Website. If you have a website, a lot of you have been so busy to really learn how to do it. We have a 90-minute program that teaches how to do it. Send your assistant, get everybody that can help you take it, and then you should understand it yourself, what it takes to promote a website. We teach it in that webinar every single month. You simply go to ICIWorld.com. To make it easy, I'm going to go back. Everybody that has a license in the world can go here. You go down here to For Members. You look to For Members. You go down the page, and bingo, you'll see register for this one here, How to Promote Your Website. It's available. It happens to be free for you, and you can register for it. The nice thing about it is if you miss it and can't make it at the appointed time, we'll actually send you an email of the recording afterwards, so you can listen to it on your own time. You can also go to the ICIWorld YouTube channel as well. So knowing our pledge is very important, and we stand behind it, and we find that anybody who has not made money or has not benefited from the service, it's because they have missed either having the widgets on their website, or they didn't know how to work exclusive information, or they didn't place their information properly, or they didn't even have 15 opportunities. And if you don't have 15 opportunities, it probably shows me that you don't know how to work exclusive information and you're hesitant to do that. And we would like to work with your hesitancy and kind of overcome that. If you give us a chance, we'd love to show you how to do that. We've been doing it for many years and help thousands of brokers how to make money kind of doing this. That completes our session now. We're going to offer a special here. This is a one-time special to people that listen to this webinar, and it also is when we do a seminar in office, and if we do a presentation in your office, we'll actually offer this to everyone in your office, where you can actually go directly to ICIWorld.com, and instead of having to pay the $3.19, if you had to sit through the grueling 1.5 hours, which you've just done right now, listen to this, you deserve a break. By the way, we're going to be giving you another break too. We actually have a $75 credit towards advertising when you do your How to Promote Your Website, and you'll find that you'll get that $75 within the webinar, How to Promote Your Website. So register for that and you'll get that. But here you're going to be getting a 25% discount if you wish to join ICIWorld. And how do you do that? Well, what you do is you go to ICIWorld.com, which is right here. Just let me show you. And then if you go up here, you click on the Join Today here. You can either click on it there or on another button that we had on the website. And you go down the page here, and you're going to see something special called corporate. Now, these are how to join, how most brokers join normally, but when you have the approval from us, you can click on the word corporate. And when you click on corporate, you can choose the USA or for Canada, and if you click on USA, you can click here, and you can just click here to join, and you can just fill in this particular membership here, and when you click on the next page, it'll bring you up to the putting in your credit card. Once you join, we recommend that you right away come back to the main page and click on Make an Appointment. By clicking on Make an Appointment, a new page will come up. You simply click on 60 minutes, and then 10 minutes before your appointment time, you go, in this particular case, we have the World Conference that we're attending for the CCIM next week. I'm actually a past World Conference chairman, and it's just amazing what you can learn at these World Conferences. You should go to that. Let's click on that. And if you happen to click on Tuesday, and those are the times that are available, and if you click on the 2 o'clock, click on the confirm, fill in your name and your email address and a phone number, and then 10 minutes before your time, you come here and click on Webinars Workshop. And when you click on that, it's going to open up the GoToMeeting session on your computer, and you and I will be able to talk. Sometimes we'll talk on the phone first. I'll either call you, you can call me, and then just one second, I'm going to try to click on that, and we'll call you back, or you can call us, and we'll be talking on the phone, and we have a checklist that we go through with every single member, getting them started, and it happens very fast. We teach you how to search, how to put the mobile phone on your phone, mobile site on your mobile phone, teach you how to search here as well by clicking on search, etc. And then how to add your listings. You just click on member login, you go to the login page, you click on the add have one, and you can be adding a listing here very quickly. So if you're in Orlando and you have a home or an apartment building for sale, apartment building, whatever it is, $2.5 million or something, or it could be a home, doesn't matter what it is, near Disney World, you can just do it like that, and then you would choose USA, and then you would choose Southeast, and then you would choose Florida. Come down here, click on the have, click on the apartment buildings, just repeat it again, apartment building. You can just choose it right there. You can just say Orlando, and then you can put the price 2,500, 000, and then we do some special things down here. Usually we have you copy the subject line, come down here, add that in, and then you could go as quickly down to the bottom, select control, and then if it happens to be MLS, you can choose MLS. If it's exclusive, you choose exclusive. And then this question says, would you allow your listings to be advertised on other brokers' websites? If it's a yes, yes. If it's a no, no. Answer yes, click on submit. Once you submit it, we recommend you come over here, and in the case of USA, you're going to click on Latest World USA, click on that, and then you'll see properties coming up for sale. Now this one in Ontario should not be here. Only properties that are in Ontario should go here. So we have a little issue where some people are spamming some of the categories, and they usually learn that after we send them their first message. But new people, you'll find the odd thing coming in the wrong category. Remember, this is not a listing service like a real estate board. It's a wide open, free for all, free of information, free enterprise, e-commerce site. It's up to the brokers to look after their information. Now, if I clicked on Texas Metro Medical Building and I click on that, you can go down here, click on the information, and there's your contact for that particular medical building that happens to be in Dallas, Texas. Okay, so those are the kind of things that you can do here. Now, when you come to searching, we've already shown you how to search. And then you would click on My Listings to see your listings. And we recommend you have a minimum 15. You update them every 30 to 60 days. Never let them go more than 90 days old. In the case of Canada, if you click on Latest World Commercial Canada, there they are coming in. And you can see them coming in daily. These are all been placed today. If I click on Latest World USA, these have been placed. And then if I click on Latest World Residential, these are what the Latest World Residential listings kind of look like down here. So that's how that works, and you just simply update them once every 30 to 60 days and keep them going. So there's really only two things you do when you become a member. You search from time to time, and you add your listings from time to time. That's it. The rest is having a website, having the widgets on your website. That's all a one-time setup. And then you just remember our pledge. So that's it for today. I'm going to leave our join today. Oopsie daisy, not the join today. I wanted to leave the contact on the screen. If anybody needs to contact us, you can stop us. There's the telephone numbers there if you need a hand. But I'm going to suggest you just make an appointment. If you're just going to make an appointment, please just click on make an appointment. We like to cut the phone calls right down, both for you and for us, playing telephone tag, going back and forth. When you have a network of 1,000 people, you literally can't have 30, 40 people calling at one time, but we can easily make 30, 40 appointments. Okay, that's it for today. I wish you all the best, and hopefully you come aboard. We'd love to get you going in your area and then get other people going in your area and having you make money. Remember this, if you can remember your first deal that you do when you join, remember this conversation, that we'd like to have you call us because we want to add you to these testimonials that you see coming up on the screen. We want you to be the next testimonial that kind of comes up here, and that's our goal for every single member, to have you become a testimonial on our service. And with that, we'll sign off now and wish you all the best in real estate.